Hey, how are you guys? What's up? What's going on? Welcome to the
Hey, how are you?
How we doing? We got a fun episode for you. I think we got some beef. Honestly, low key. Jake, our three listeners have kind of reached out to me and they said they need more out of you. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but you guys want to get into some Leafs talk? I mean,
Yeah, I want some Leafs talk. Give it to me.
should we
I
or
want
should
the
we
Leafs talk?
Should we start with the Jets? The Jets shit show when we were
Let's start with Jets,
Yeah.
Blues, because that was last round. So, and then we'll jump right into the Leafs. Sounds
good. Yeah. So we were live recording the podcast live, and honestly, guys, I had to cut a lot of that out. We sounded like complete morons. The amount of times we flipped. It was Binnington stroke off, and then we all just watched it happen live. So, yeah, crazy game. The Jets came back in that one, didn't they? Jake?
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah, that was probably one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. With the exception of Boston, Toronto in 2013, like that was fucking crazy. Like,
but you could argue that was crazier, right? I mean, the amount of time, like a minute and a half.
Yeah, but I think just the 3-goal lead trumps it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's also your team, and the team
obviously I'm biased.
Despise.
Yeah, I mean, we were literally previewing the Blues against Dallas, yeah, no shit, we sounded like idiots, but I mean,
and you had money on it.
Whoever would have expected that?
Yeah.
What?
No, I said you had money on it, and we jinxed you.
I did. You did. You guys did. You guys are scumbags for that, but it's all right. Got to witness that, which is pretty damn cool. It's probably better memory than a $70 payout. So
yeah,
glad I got to witness it.
Hellebuck he had a chance. His team gave him a chance to prove and shut a lot of those people up that have been talking shit about him, which rightfully so, because he was laying some eggs there, but in overtime he shut it down. So good for him.
I mean, we all kind of knew. I mean, we all said St. Louis, but did we really actually believe St. Louis was going to do it in overtime? I think
no.
When something like that happens, they have everything going their way. The momentum is just too great. So
it's in their building. Yeah, that was theirs. Yeah. So JB, you have any thoughts, or you just want to move right through?
I mean, I want to get to the Leafs, but
yeah,
I'll give this a quick run through.
All right.
Yeah, obviously, I said it on the pod. I don't think Binnington is the guy.
You don't. Yeah, yeah. I think
retract my statement.
I could find a clip of you saying the opposite, but
I think it got cut. But yeah, no, I mean that was an unbelievable comeback. Hats off, honestly, to St. Louis, though, boys. I mean, talk about a series, right? Played unreal. Winnipeg, I mean, I give them a lot of props, too. That's not easy to do, especially in your home building. Like, we've talked about the home ice advantage and what it truly means, but I think sometimes it can honestly be harder. Like, that building was quiet for a solid amount of time, and all it took was one to kind of get the momentum going again. So, yeah, not much else on that. Great series.
Scheifele was out, and their D-man, Morrissey, was it?
Morrissey, yeah.
So
Scheifele came back last game, though. For game
I know,
one.
but I'm talking about game 7. Like,
yep, I know.
Without your top forward, your top D-man, I forgot that was true. So that made it even more impressive. Cole Perfetti, pretty sick.
I wanted to talk about that too, because that fucking first tip. Did you guys see that? That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, and then
the second one. I mean, the second
one with 1.4 seconds. Like, that dude's a gamer.
Jake, actually, I think it was 1.67 seconds left. Just to be clear.
Thank you for being clear about that.
Was that a pass?
Like 1967.
Or did he fumble fuck that shot?
No, he fumbled the shot.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think he was just throwing it to the net, right?
Yeah.
No, he was shooting. He was shooting that, and he healed it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what made it more impressive to me is that Perfetti was just ready.
Yeah, because typically, like, if that was a one touch, like, you're normally leaning forwards. If you look at that shot, he's like on his heels.
True.
So, I mean, talk about just, I only said that just because it's like, we always say this game is, you know, the margins in it so small. And I mean, talk about that. There's no time left on the clock. He fumbles the shot and it goes perfectly through the middle. Doesn't get blocked. So that was an unreal ending, and I'm just happy we're in the second round.
I actually I talked to a guy at work today that I've literally never spoken to, and somebody told me he liked hockey. So I said, "Oh, like I heard you're a big hockey fan." And I was like, "What team do you like?" He was like, "Oh, actually, like I'm from Winnipeg." And I was like, "No way. Like what'd you think of that game?" And he was like, "That I'm 70. I'm about to turn 70, and that was one of the best moments of my life." This dude's been to like fucking like every country in like Africa. Like he does like work for like donating work. They build fucking like schools and shit.
Yeah.
And
so what are you calling him, a loser?
No, I'm just saying like that's just how much that fucking mattered to those people. Like that city just like needed something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that, man. Because they've struggled. I mean, when's the last time they got out of the first round? COVID, and then before that, I don't think it was.
Been a while. When's the last time they like really did anything in the playoffs though? Even when they were at Atlanta. I mean, I think there wasn't a team there forever.
COVID year, remember the Jake Evans hit? Or the Scheifele
Yeah,
hit?
in that like weird Canadian conference.
Yeah. But that I have a hard time counting that.
That year was just weird. You can't really.
Yeah.
Especially with the conferences.
Yeah. That was a ridiculous final. Montreal and Tampa Bay. But all right. Let's get to it, man. The elephant in the room. Toronto. Is anybody in the world not surprised right now at what Toronto is doing to the defending Cup champs?
Mike, what did we say, dude? It was going to be enjoyable to watch. And boys, if I can go back and tell you everything I've seen, it's been enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to throw this right over to Watchers because I know I can see him. He's about to jump off of his chair. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say. But give me your rundown on just this series and your thoughts, I guess, now moving forward.
Yeah, I mean,
as a guy who, let me just jump in, has some money on the line, right? Or did you not place those bets?
Yeah, I have a lot of money on Florida. Like I said, I took them to win in 6 or less the series, and I put money on them in both of those last games. Nothing crazy, but
you're gonna be building houses in Africa pretty soon, dude.
I hope so. Anything to get out of the office, right? And then I have them to meet Dallas in the finals, and then I parlayed them to win in 6 and Dallas to win in less than 6. So I got like $400 on them. Anyway, yeah, if you told me that Florida would be down 2-0 to Toronto in the second round like 3 days ago, I would have told you you're smoking fucking crack. But yeah, no, this is they surprised me and they look good. They look really good. But I'm still not sold. Still not sold. I think Florida has been the better team. I know I texted that in the group chat today, and you guys like shit a brick. But I mean, they haven't been. Bob Broski hasn't been very good. Like, can we just all agree on that?
Yeah, we can definitely agree to that.
Okay.
I don't think he's cost them. I think he was a factor in game 1. Game 2, I don't really agree with that as much. But what do you not so you still think the Panthers, I mean, they're obviously not in the driver's seat. Where you got them? Passenger? I think they might be in the fucking back seat right now.
They're in a car seat, dude.
Yeah, buckle them up. Hand them their mama's milk.
You might be right, but I don't know. I think they bounced back. I mean, this is a team that been to the Cup finals 2 years in a row, and they won it last year, obviously.
Do you think that's catching up to them at all?
I mean,
Played
a lot of
of
people
hockey.
say like this whole thing about playing so much hockey, like in years. We heard it when Tampa went on their 3 straight Cup finals. But like, I don't really like buy that though. Like,
Okay.
I mean,
I hear you.
so what? Like, these guys want to win more than anything. They're gonna put everything they have on the ice. Like, nothing that doesn't change anything. I just think Florida is a team to do that. Like we saw Tampa in was that 2023 when they played the Rangers in the conference finals and the Rangers went up 2-0 and everybody was like, what the fuck? Like literally the same thing we're doing right now. And then Tampa just we're like, all right, we're the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're fucking better than you. And rattled off 4 straight. So
I mean, you said it though when you texted us. Like, and I obviously we're on the Leafs train over here, but I mean it is one of those things, right? Is it setting up to be a absolute typical Toronto fashion? What's going to happen here?
I mean,
like here's the thing. That's why none of us originally actually believed it. We both made our points about them, could be different, but we didn't pick them in the series.
No.
Like if we go back, we didn't pick them because I will believe it when I see it. That's me. I
forget what I said though for the pick.
You said
it Florida in 7?
7, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said 7. I think you said 7. I said 5, and Mike said 6. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Obviously, I was wrong already, but
yeah, they would have to take a win off. But yeah, no, I mean, I want to say something about your comment about playing a lot of hockey because I kind of agree with you. Because there's a lot of things that are just like rhetoric in hockey. Like that's one of them. It's like, oh, they played a lot of hockey. They have summers off. They're professionals, right? You wouldn't think. But let's be honest, 2 back-to-back cup finals. Last year's was intense. You have a shorter offseason. And then you look at Toronto, buddy, they've been hitting sticks. They've been on 18, dude. They've been ripping golf. Some golf. I don't know why I said it like that, but you know what I mean? They want it, and they're probably more healthy right now. So I think that it kind of does play it a little bit.
I will say, I think the whole Toronto, like, can't close, like, the doubts, I think they've kind of washed those away, honestly. I don't feel that same, like, oh, it's Toronto. Like, they're going to blow it. Like, right now, I don't have that feeling. Like, maybe that's because I'm like, oh, they're actually good and they actually can do it, which I totally think they can after these last 2 games.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Florida's going to allow it. Like, I think they're just going to come back at home, push back, and just, like, dominate. Like they have every team. Like they got to get back to playing their way. They've been playing Toronto brand of hockey, but they got to get back to Toronto hockey. Like pound, fucking, just be scumbags. Like they have Brad Marchand now. Like you should be like walking these guys right now.
But I agree. I agree to a certain extent because they did add Marchand. No big deal. We know him well. The Leaf killer, yeah. But the one thing I want to talk about this series, and it was I said it on the last pod of if Toronto was able to get an early game or steal a game early.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what they've done. But the thing to me that's been different this year is the pushback, right? So whether that's the goals that they've let up, we've seen a direct response within a minute, 2 minutes. It's been relatively quick, right? So they're not doing the typical Leafs thing where they let up a goal and everyone's freaking out and waiting for them to fall apart. So that's been different. But also I feel like the physicality aspect, like can Florida turn it up? Yeah, right? They have some of the best dogs out there. Like they're going to turn it up. But I also think there's been a decent amount of pushback physicality wise from Toronto. I think Domi's been throwing around his weight. I have a couple of guys that I just jotted down that I think have been playing unreal so far. Max Pacioretty, boys.
Yeah.
I think he's been solid. I think whether it's even offensively,
Oh yeah, dude.
Like the small stuff for his age. I mean, that guy wants to win. Also, I mean, hats off to him. I'm not wearing a hat I'm the only one out of 3, but I mean, the injuries he's faced, the ankle injuries, just unreal, honestly, what he's been doing. So I'm behind the Leafs right now. I think Florida can definitely turn things around. They're going to make it a series. I had Florida in 7. So I definitely think, they get at least 1 at home, but we'll see.
Yeah. Go, Jake.
Bringing up the Panthers a little more. What do you guys have thinking of? Fuck that up. What do you think of Verhaeghe's play so far?
I haven't really noticed him. I mean, to be honest.
Exactly. I think that's just the guy they need to get going.
He's from Toronto. He was drafted by Toronto. I actually don't know if he's from Toronto, but he was on Toronto's roster, I think. Either way, no, look, this is what I was going to bring up. Panthers top 5 players this year, or this playoffs in points. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You just cut out for a second, but yeah, I can.
We are having some connection issues here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We'll power through it. We'll power through it. So Anton Lundell, Eetu Luostarinen, Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk. They got 8 points, 8.765. So that's not a whole lot, boys. Not going to lie to you. I know they've played less games, but Marchand stepping up, Lundell, Luostarinen, that's good, but they're not the top guys on that team. Right?
Yeah, that's 3 of those players on your third line.
Exactly. So what's going on? Like, they can't win that way because Toronto has the depth and they have the stars who are putting up the numbers right now. So something's got to change. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe it could happen, though. It could.
Yeah. I hate completely interjecting, but that's where I honestly agree with Jake on this. And I hate the kid, so anytime you guys hear me say that, I agree with Jake, especially on this, dude. Fuck Jake. Toronto to the moon. But I do agree with you in the sense of how Florida is going to get back into this, because I think we've talked about it before, but if it's going to be a high-flying offense, I mean, Toronto's with you the whole way. Like, I don't think you're beating Toronto by playing like that, and I think it's kind of played out that way. It's been close. Both games have been a 1-goal difference, but I think I agree with you, Jake. I think they need to get back to being complete scumbags. And we've seen a little bit of it, right? We didn't really even mention Stolarz being out in that whole situation that we can
Let's get to that a little bit later.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think they gotta slow things down. Right now, what I'm watching, I feel like zone exits for Toronto have been pretty good. I mean, they should have 2 guys on Brandon Carlo at all times. We've seen it before. The guy's Bambi on ice, dude, if there's a solid forecheck on him.
Mm-hmm.
His legs will be in a split. So they need to get back to that. They need physicality, and they got to slow them down in the middle. I think Toronto's been flying through the neutral zone, getting zone entries like it's stealing candy from a kid. So that's all I got for that. But I don't know if you want to get into Stolarz or
that though, real quick. Last game, face-off percentage was 62.7 to the Leafs, 37.3 to the Panthers. So they're not winning the draws. Power plays were 3-2 last game. Usually, Toronto gets the calls at home. So I think, did you guys see that embellishment call?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was clearly hit from behind.
Yeah.
That was one of the more wild calls I've ever seen. And Jay, I know I'm interrupting you, but just remember what you're going to say. Dave Jackson, the guy who does when they throw it to the guy, he's like the rules expert. Every time I see him and I hear him talk, all I can think of is just he's paid by the league, right? He's paid by someone in the league in some capacity. So what is he really going to say? He's not going to disagree with calls, really. You could hear it in his voice. He's kind of nervous to disagree with the call. He just agrees with everything. He's like, this is what it was. He definitely sold it a little bit. It's like, dude, he got crushed from behind. And I'm a Leafs fan.
Who's cutting the checks,
Yeah.
I definitely noticed that too.
Yeah, so anyway, Jake, what were you going to say?
All right. Fucking Nylander, dude. Like, this guy's fucking unreal. I will say, I've actually always liked Nylander. Maybe it's the best friend Pasternak like thing, but
Yeah.
this guy is fucking unreal. Like, he shows up every fucking game, dude. He works his dick off. And I'm gonna say something, and this might sound a little crazy. William Nylander is the best player on the. I'm gonna restart that. William Nylander is the best player on the Leafs. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let's see what you guys got to say.
I mean, it's hard to argue on the front of playoff hockey because I think playoffs to me is where it matters, and he's really been the only one, even in the past, to truly show up. I've liked what I've seen so far with Marner, but I'm not going to argue the point of Nylander being the guy and the one that shows up the most. Matthews, he kind of surprises me a lot with a lot of this stuff. Like, I don't know your thoughts on Matthews in general. Obviously, I'll let Mike answer the Nylander question, but yeah, Nylander's a dog. I don't really have much to rebuttal that.
I mean, like, not just playoffs. Like, I'm saying everything, but like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's not that crazy to say that. I mean, they have three guys who put up similar points. So it's kind of Matthews to me he got the C. He's like the face of it all. But no, Nylander is incredible, dude. I mean, he's so shifty. He's so talented. His hands are incredible. He's like Pasternak in a lot of ways.
They play very similar.
Yeah. Did you hear what Berube was? He was kind of stroking him off low key in the interview after the game. You see that?
I didn't watch it, no.
Well, yeah, no. You would agree with him based on what you just said. So no, I don't think it's that crazy. I don't know if I would say 100% he's the guy, but they're kind of like a 3 or 4 or 5 pronged offense. So he's a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, Matthews gets, like, people just say, oh, top 5 player in the league. So, like, I don't know. Where's that put Nylander? Like, I think you put Nylander above Matthews. Obviously, like, no NHL like analysis would like agree with me there. But like, I mean, Matthews can score like sick. Like, he's a good playmaker too. But like, even look at the point totals. Like, Nylander had significant more points than him this year. I think he had more goals than him too.
I also wouldn't take away though the fact that Matthews is going to have to play a 200-foot game because I think he's bought into that
That's
a
true.
lot.
That's
recently.
true.
I don't know if outside of this year, this has probably been the first year I've really like, especially towards the latter part of the season, like zoned in on the Leafs more. But just from the games I've watched playoff wise, I mean, obviously you guys can argue it, but I think defensively Matthews has been unreal. Like that's been one of the difference makers, I think, for this team so far. So is he giving up a little bit of the offense to, play a better defensive game? If they're winning, I mean, that seems like what they're buying into. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I think skill wise, and I mean, they're all up there. I'm looking at the stats right now. It looks like Nylander has 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points. Marner's at 10 points, but he only has 2 goals. So, yeah, I mean, Nylander's been, I mean, they need him, right? Dude, if you're going to get through Florida, Goliath,
everyone's got to step up.
Yeah.
He's their heartbeat. And yeah, JB, I agree with everything you just said. I didn't even take his defensive side of the game into account, honestly.
But that's kind of they're all doing that. The whole team. Like that's kind of what is different about this team is Berube is the coach, the veterans they've added, and then they're not. I mean, they did win what were the last scores of these games? Like 5-4 and
4-3. I think it's been 1 goal like differences.
Yeah. I mean, JB, you brought up the responses earlier. Like that's been super impressive. The belief that they've had, cool, calm, collected. You know,
you said belief, right?
Yeah. BELEAF.
Link in bio.
Check it out.
He's actually wearing the hoodie right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but it looks wicked dope. So keep an eye out for that. A little bit of merch for anybody out there. But do you guys think they're like this is kind of a just a subjective question. Do you think that they should – what's the best approach to beat Florida? Because it seems like what they're doing obviously is working, but it seems like what they're doing is kind of not getting in the mix with Florida. They're not engaging them. They're kind of laughing at them in the scrums. Like, there's a lot of that kind of like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me off my game, and I'm not going to do it. So the cool, calm, collected thing, is that going to work? What do we think?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely helping. I mean, I think we all know this comes from Craig Berube. Like, known to be like that. And he's been saying stuff in the media that just gives you that impression. So it's helping. I mean,
is that what you think that you should do? Because I thought they had to get into more of the mix with Florida and not back.
I mean, right now, no, I think it's not what they need to be doing. It's not engaging. But if, like, Florida wins, like, these next 2 games, then you might have to go into that. Like, right now, what they're doing is working, so they definitely got to just keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
But
well, because I'd say what fuels each team. My understanding of everything so far is that Florida is built off of chaos. So they're a team that relishes those moments that the opposing team pushes back on them, and they're getting into these scrums, and that's when I think they're able to be cool, calm, and collected. When you don't play like that, I think it's honestly forcing Florida into like a different mindset, because it's almost like we're doing all this. They're not buying in. They're not really giving us the reaction that we want. So I think that they continue playing the way that they're playing. Don't buy into the stuff. Don't just keep chattering. You don't need to get into fights every single play. But I think just maintain the defensive structure that they've had. Berube, I think, has done a really good job with that. We've said it. I said Matthews, but Mike, you had said it. All these guys are kind of buying into that defensively. They're all back checking. They're playing good in their own zone. Pucks are getting out. So I think that that's all you can ask them to do right now. I mean, does Florida get a game? Yeah, they might get both. I mean, you're going back into Florida. They just won the cup. Like, could see it happening, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do think, like, you guys are both making great points. I didn't really think of it like that. It's Florida's game, and it's kind of like those rage bait guys on YouTube. You know, those guys who just like wear opposite jersey of a team and go to the arena or whatever and just try to piss people off. When you don't react to them, it doesn't get them a clip, right? It's just like not funny. It's better. They want you to lose your mind. So I think that is kind of what Florida does, and a lot of teams just almost can't erase it because it's like the ego. It's like, nah, I want to show you I'm tough. I can, I'll bury you. But Florida is so good at it where they get under your skin, but they keep playing. And I think they get guys off their game a little bit. So we'll see if it continues in Florida because, like you just said, that's a totally different barn. The calls are not going to go your way as much. So they're going to have to muck it up a little bit more down at Amarant Arena in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, literally, dude.
Where we almost fought some 65-year-old Florida Panthers fan.
Claimed he was a veteran. I don't know.
Yeah, well, look, thanks for serving the country, but don't try to jump over the glass because the Bruins won. All right, it's regular season. All right, let us have something.
Yeah, especially this year.
Yeah. So, you guys want anything else, or you want to move on?
I mean, I would say just clip it now while we're still talking about it. But the Stolars incident, like, do we think that was intentional? Was it bad?
I don't think it was too bad. As a guy who knows who Sam Bennett is, and I respect it to a level, and I know he's always trying to do that shit. I don't know if he was trying to concuss a guy who played in his team last year on the power play. It didn't look. I don't know. It didn't look like he was going that hard or that fast. And there was the clip of the slap shot that hit him in the face 5 minutes before that. So I don't know if that one I'm sold on. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think him getting no suspension was definitely the right call. Whether he meant to do it or not, I didn't really think it was anything. It looked like he really barely touched him to me. From what I heard, the slap shot by, I believe it was Reinhardt, that hit him in the face was what caused it. But, I mean, who knows? But, yeah, I don't really think much else of it. These fans are pissed about it, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, it's just kind of what they do, right? They lose a game, but they injure your goalie, and But Wall, the Wonder Wall, he kind of figured it out a little bit. He didn't look too great at first, but I think he's settling in. Who knows how many games he'll play? Like you said, Bob hasn't looked great either. Excuse me. So, JB, what did you think of that video?
I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. Like, I don't think it was really that bad. I mean, I am more on the history side of things. I mean, at this point, like, even if the result wasn't bad or, he missed him to a certain extent where it wasn't clean contact. But I don't know. I mean, just what was the intention behind it? I mean, I personally thought that there was something behind it. I don't think it was completely. I mean, he was in that area for a reason. Obviously, that's his game, and he's scored a lot of goals from that spot. But I don't know. I just think there was well, it could have been a stat, but it was just kind of the events that have happened beforehand, Mike, that I don't know if you sent it into the group chat or not, but it was just pretty much talking about the prior incidents, one being the Marchand situation. I don't know if you're able to pull that up, but
What?
it was that you had sent it over. It was just talking about like in the last 2 years.
Oh, what Bennett his reputation? Like,
yeah, and the disciplinary action has been nothing. So
suspension. Yeah,
I think at this point now to still not be getting any type of suspension, even a game. It's like, I mean, how long does it go on for? But,
no, I totally agree. Especially if you're a Leafs fan right now, you're like, this guy again. Like, it couldn't have been anybody else. Like, it's hard to believe it's an accident. I think you texted too. It's hard to give the benefit of the doubt to Bennett.
Yeah.
So,
all right, that's all I got for the Leafs. We're going to turn into a Leafs podcast.
I know.
Jake's upside down.
We've talked about the Leafs more than we've taled about the Bruins.
Well, yeah, dude, because the Bruins are golfing right now.
There'll be plenty of time for Bruins talk in July.
True. All right. What do we got next here, Mike?
Got Rantanen. I got in my notes, Rantanen on fire. 14 points in 14 games. 14 points in 4 games. Crazy shit coming from the Moose, the guy who dropped his balls all over the Colorado Avalanche, his former team.
I think we've got to test him, dude. Is he on something?
I mean,
got into Ekblad's gym bag.
Yeah, that's a scary bag to open.
He just caught a whiff of something. He didn't even inject anything, I don't think. He's been on it. Back-to-back hat tricks. 2 games in a row. Natural hat tricks, mind you, as well. In a period. He had a 3rd period hat trick and a 2nd period hat trick. So he kind of took over that game. I don't know if you guys caught much of that game 1, Jets and Stars. It was a little boring, as you kind of would expect after those ridiculous game 7s. We haven't really been able to predict this series because last time we recorded, we didn't know this was going to be the series. We were kind of thinking St. Louis. So throw it to you, Jake. Are you sticking with Dallas? And what do you think? Like, do you think it's going to go deep? Do you think they're going to make work of them? Give me your thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like Dallas here. I bet on them to win in 6 or less. But yeah, Rantanen's been on a tear. That dude's crazy.
Yeah,
that's all there's to say about him. I mean, unreal. That's all. I can't even put words to it. But yeah, I mean, I think this series, I don't know. I don't see it going to 7, but I think maybe 6. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas swept them, honestly. But I don't know. I really buying into Dallas. I think they're very fucking good. And especially with Robo and Miro coming back. I mean, that's who better to add to the lineup than those guys.
Robo's back.
Did he play last game?
Yeah, he played game 1.
I'm not gonna lie, I knocked out.
Yeah.
While I was watching that game, so I didn't really see much.
Throwing out that they could sweep them is crazy, bro. They're not going to sweep them.
I'm not saying they are. I said they can.
Well, yeah.
I think Dallas wins in 6.
Guy too. But you think Dallas in 6? Okay. JB, what do you got? Dallas as well, I'd assume.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely going Dallas. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's tough with the past situation that Winnipeg's found themselves in just previous years. They really haven't been a great playoff team. They kind of, I mean, not kind of, but they absolutely squeaked by in Game 7. So definitely a lot more confident in Dallas. With you, Jake, on that. They've been fun to watch here. Obviously, the first round with Rantanen playing unreal, and seems like he's just carrying that on. So hard to bet against that team. But yeah, I'd go Dallas in 6. I think it's going to be. You'll get some pushback from Winnipeg, but I don't know. I just don't know if Winnipeg can do it, but we'll see.
That's why they play, eh? That's why they play. What are you doing, Jake? Grabbing another beer? What do you got? Sam Adams?
Yeah, this has been in my fridge for a while. Oh, Caps just scored.
Yeah, Carlson. He scored 5 minutes ago.
All right, buddy.
Dude, last thing we need is another end of the podcast. Crazy ending.
Yeah, we got to get off before that happens.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really haven't. I wasn't super interested in that game 1. These teams kind of bore me a little bit. And maybe that's crazy to say, but I'm not a huge fan of watching these. You can't watch every game, right? We're not getting money for this. So I can't watch every game. I try to, but and just because I love playoff hockey, but some of them you just can't do. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on 2-1 Carolina up in the series 1-0.
I actually watched game 1. I really liked it. I enjoyed the game. Like, yeah, you're right. Definitely boring hockey because it's, I mean, not very high scoring, even this game. But I enjoyed it. I think Carolina's definitely the better team here. But Logan Thompson's been standing on his head, boys. Like, this guy is, I don't really watch them a lot, but like, he looks fucking unreal.
Yeah, he's been good. I did see the game. I just wasn't like intent. But your call about Svechnikov, I think he had 2 crossbars in that game. So yeah, I mean,
He's gonna get going.
yeah. So what is it now? 2-0 Carolina.
Yeah.
No,
nothing.
Washington.
Okay, good. They need to tie this up. Yeah, JB, you have any thoughts?
Kind of the same boat, honestly, boys. Like, I don't have too much. I had said it before, where it's just crazy to have 2 teams that play very, like, just similar. I feel like they're kind of. I mean, they both have offensive skill, but I don't know. It just hasn't been a very flashy series so far. I mean, we're only in game 2, but honestly, I kind of want to go Washington. I think we had said it before. Was this year just a perfect storm? You had Ovi breaking records, and it was looking like that. They got through the first round, but I think the depth piece, and I don't know. I just think Washington can do it. I'm not completely sold on Carolina.
Hey, buddy, we already did this. We already predicted the series, and you picked Carolina.
Last pod, right?
Yeah, we're not doing a new prediction every pod, dude. We were just I was just like your thoughts on game 1, and then just move on.
All right, man. I retract it. Sorry.
Buddy just clocked in his 9 to 5, is just throwing it out. All right. Yeah, let's just move off of that series. You can't watch every game, but we've had incredible playoffs so far. These storylines have been ridiculous. So I don't think that series really has. It doesn't do it for me. But if one of them goes on a run, I'll catch more of their games. Edmonton, speaking of comebacks, Edmonton, Vegas. Edmonton's got 5 straight come from behind wins in the playoffs. They won 4 straight in the last series, and then they just did it again. That's a record. Yeah, a lot of comebacks this playoffs. So did you guys catch that game? We already talked about the series. We already predicted it. What do we think? Jake, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much of it just because it gets late for me, but I watched the highlights and dude, this is crazy. Like there's no other way to describe it. Like the Oilers are crazy. Like how do they do this every night? But yeah, I mean, curious what happens tonight in that series for sure. McDavid's just like smoking crack out of his ass right now. I mean, that dude's just ridiculous.
Smoking crack up his ass.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't make sense how good he is. Like nothing fucking makes sense.
That's true. JB, did you catch it? And
I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I did see like highlights of it. Pretty much agree with you, Jake. I mean, you can't count these two guys out. Leon too. I mean, everyone talks about McDavid, but Leon's had an unbelievable season. I think he's carried it through. Even just he's hard on the puck. He's a big body. He plays a little bit different of a game than McDavid. He's not just going end to end. So I think he does a lot of valuable things. So excited to see what they do tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. I mean, you got Eichel, like we already said, Eichel versus McDavid. Eichel's been shutting him down a little bit though. McDavid, I don't know if McDavid did much in game 1. So
the battle of the 1 and 2.
He had 2 points.
Did he? Yeah, that's like a nothing night for Connor McDavid though, for being honest.
Yeah. What do you guys think of their game? Like, I mean, it's hard to win playing like that, no? Like win a cup.
Yeah, but it's also very tough with their current team to play a more defensive style. I mean, Ekholm's out.
Yeah, no, that's like what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, yeah, Ekholm coming back will definitely.
I mean, we saw them. Yeah, to win the cup. I mean, they made the cup last year playing like that. So.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit better of a team last year, though. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different look. But yeah, I mean, I would say that they were probably better last year.
Really, what's changed? It was the Holloway and Broberg.
Didn't they lose Fogle, or was that the year before?
No, I think you're right. He went to LA.
I mean, that guy had like 50 points this year or something. Like he was a great player for LA. I mean, obviously he lost to the Oilers in the first round, but I mean, I'm just saying he would have helped. He would have helped their team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But hey, buddy, they're up 1-0 in the second round.
Yeah, so. No, they are. I'm rooting for Edmonton. Trust me, I want Connor to win a cup more than the average guy. But
yeah, I don't know Ekholm's status, man, because I did hear something where they like weren't really expecting to get him back anytime soon.
Yeah, that it's not good for them. But I mean, they're winning right now, so hey.
What's your take on it, Mike?
The series in general, I mean, I don't have much of one. Or are you talking about
if they can win like the way they play, like always, like, you know, they're not very good defensively.
I mean, I think they could do it. They're in the final 8, right? So, I mean, they're pretty close. They came close last year. Goaltending is going to have to be really good to win a cup. So, I don't know. That's going to be a big factor in this series. And the depth. Overall, I think their offense is fine. I don't think you have to worry about them. They're getting everybody. They're hard to play against. Their defense is the problem. They got Klingberg in there, Wallman, Bouchard. Who's the other guy? Number 7, Brett Kulak.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't really know anyone else. Emberson is in there. But I think, that's obviously the weak spot. So it's going to be a factor.
Wallman's still hurt, right? He hasn't played yet, right?
Who?
Big Wallman. They traded for him at the deadline.
No, he's in.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I just haven't noticed him yet.
Well, that's going to be probably a big factor because I'd say Vegas's D is a lot stronger. And they didn't have Pietrangelo in game 1.
That's true.
So, it's a game that was in LA. They kind of stole it again. That's what they can do. So I think it's still going to be a long series. But if they win, I mean, I definitely think they can. They beat Dallas last year. But they're not my pick. I wouldn't pick them again, even though I have at one point in this podcast. But I've also said endless picks and changed my mind. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else on that. Or the playoffs in general, man. I mean, they're fun to watch. It's great hockey. We'll see if the Panthers are able to claw back. Go Leafs.
Should we jump into some Bruins draft lottery talk here?
Sure. I mean, break it down for me, Jake.
It's been a while since we talked about our glorious bees.
It's true.
What'd you guys think of the draft lottery, like the new thing? I mean, personally, I thought it was cool. It was fun. It was nice to watch, but what the fuck are we doing with these numbers? Like what was that?
Dude, I thought I heard
nobody knew what was fucking going on.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I did hear something where it was like the number 7 ball the Bruins needed was
it was 7 or 14 for number 2.
Yeah, and it was in the chute before it flew up. So we were that close to getting a second.
I think we should sue the league and say that the timer went off half a second before.
Well, that's the thing. This is an entire franchise's future is dependent on Gary or Jeff hitting a fucking button or whatever they did. Stupid.
It's also funny just seeing how formal all of them look, but also carried themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy had a death grip on the stopwatch. Thought his hand was gonna fall off.
How about when he wrote the pick? Because everyone's waiting. It was like the number 1 overall pick was decided, and he's looking at a piece of paper, writing something down. I'm like, did they forget what they were doing?
I've never seen someone, or not someone, but just people with such good posture. Those guys had stick alignment on their back.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were there, dude. I mean, they did their part. It's just whether or not you believe in the whole orchestrated thing. But
and it's also the NHL. The NHL is just it's so NHL of them to just try to do some stupid shit like that and make it a show and have the least. Buchagras is good and Kevin Weeks is good, but it was awkward and it's just a weird thing. They probably didn't prepare. Not everyone really knew what they were doing. Gary Bettman is the least entertaining guy that's out there. I've heard he's actually done a lot of good things for the NHL based on Brian Burke's book that I read. Try to say that 3 times. But it wasn't good. It was, again, so NHL. And I'm pissed because the Bruins got 7th overall. But what are you going to do? Go Islanders. Happy for them. They've sucked and been in middle ground for so long.
Yeah, it sucks. If the Bruins got 2nd and were able to get Misa, I would have fucking lost my shit.
But I mean, we got to remember too, it's still a top 10 pick here, boys.
It's still gonna get. There's going to be a good player there for them.
Yeah,
I've been listening to some draft stuff and obviously we'll get more into it. Kind of closer to the draft, especially with the off season. But there's this kid. I forget exactly where he plays, but his name's Brady Martin. Apparently, he just lit it up at the Worlds, U18. And I don't know. I think this could be a guy that they get, and he's a Ryan Leonard, a Brady Tkachuk. He's just a monster.
Yeah. I mean, it's the trend of the game, right? Matt Nye is kind of breaking out right now, and obviously what the Tkachuks have done. I think a lot of teams are going to start drafting guys and trying to get a guy like that. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think the Bruins overall, they're bigger, maybe not bigger issue, but next season, whoever they draft is not going to help them next season. So, they got to they have to have a plan for next season because it sounds like they're trying to compete again, and they're not trying to be in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. So
wouldn't be mad if they were, honestly.
No, but just to be reliant again, dude, on a ping pong ball game.
That's very true. But
yeah, right.
The three of us watched the most brutal hockey for another 82 games for them to get 6. There's a ping pong ball didn't go off of Gary Bettman's head.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some crazy thing next year, dude. They're gonna change it again.
That's true. I mean, the only reason I say that is solely off of a chance like getting a guy like Gavin McKenna. That dude's like gonna be a franchise changing player, in my opinion. Obviously it's super early, but
Yeah, no, I mean that's what everyone's saying. He's got like he's more points than Bedard had. He's like Bedard's cousin, right?
I heard that too. I don't know if it's true though.
I think he is, dude. I'm pretty sure it's true.
I mean
somehow related. I don't know, but
I mean, we got a
guys
guy. Prospect wise, Minton, like he played with Bedard for a decent amount of time.
Did they?
Yeah, he played in Western Van in that before juniors.
Dude, they have like a lot of fucking good kids that played for that team.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Celebrini played there with Bedard and him too.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Bruins aren't in a horrible spot. I mean, we'll get more into this too. I don't want to drag this on. I think we got to do a pod here coming up. I'd like to do one mainly on the Bruins at some point. Maybe it's an additional pod, but
yeah.
No, I mean, my last statement. I think the Bruins are in a pretty decent spot, to be honest with you. I think they were able to get a solid amount of return on all of those trades. I mean, obviously the Marchand one hurts for a number of different reasons, but they were able to get a better prospect pool. And I just think what you gave up and what you did get, and then also having some money to spend, we'll see how they do it. But like I said, that's another talk for another time.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's hard to have these conversations now anyway, right? Just because you don't know who's actually going to free agency.
Yeah.
Like it could be Mitch Marner, Brock Besser, and Ehlers. It could be one of them. So it's kind of hard to.
Well, Ehlers said he's leaving, so
Ehlers did.
I'm pretty sure.
He's
pretty sure, like
playoffs right now. You sure?
No, this was a while ago. I think he made it pretty clear that he didn't want to stay in Winnipeg.
I think you're smoking crack out of your.
I've heard that.
Crap out of your ass.
I don't know. I've heard things like that.
Well, if it is him, so you got him, and then Besser. I mean, there was all that stuff about Besser, and
Besser's gone.
He had a signed jersey from the whole team. Pretty sure the mascot signed it too. So he's on his way out. Possibly will be in a Bruins jersey, but we'll have to wait and see.
He would make a lot of sense. If we're going to speculate, I think he's a guy who the situation is probably done. He's probably out of there, and he makes sense in Boston. And they're looking
to stick in a Bruins jersey.
The flow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goldilocks? Kidding me?
What number would he wear though, boys? He's number 6, right? Then we have Laura.
Is Besser gonna big dog Lowry?
Give him a watch. Remember that whole thing with Rantanen giving that kid the watch for like 2 weeks, and then got again.
Yeah. What did that guy was the big winner of that whole thing.
Yeah, honestly, Rantanen left, dude. He's just talking to the boys like, dude, I just got a free watch out of this. It's crazy. Yeah. I love that guy.
That's an underrated part of that trade. The Stars won though too, man. That guy's been ridiculous. When they get completely healthy, dude, it could line up perfectly. Just going an absolute heater here. So we'll see. I don't have much. Maybe we'll start doing like prank calls on this podcast, just letting it loose. Just getting into some crazy shit. But that's all I got for today. So I think that was a good call. Any final thoughts or are you guys good?
That's all I got. Looking forward to the next one though.
Yeah, boys, been fun. Go Cats. Need them bad. My mortgage depends on it.
What will you win? You got 400 on
it. If everything hits, I'd make like $1,000.
So a 600 or you'd make 14?
Not like 600. Oh, maybe a little more, but
Yeah, that's a big gamble, Jake, and I hope the fans are actually still listening here, and hope they gamble and continue to listen. So we'll see you guys next time.
Keep gambling, boys. It's good. Peace out.
Don't listen to him.